Hello, everyone. My name is Valdrin and I'm the senior analyst for Being Crypto. So, as always, with me we have Konstantin, who is our global trader, and Ankit, who is also a trader in the Being Crypto Telegram community. So, the topic for today is going to be more traditional market related. So, basically, it's going to be global markets, outlook, and the possibility for a recession in 2023. So there have been many different events going on right now, and like I've seen various reports calling for a massive recession to follow, even though we already had some type of economic downturn. So we thought it would be a good topic to basically analyze. So I'll share my chart and go first. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was. Just a second. The dollar currency index, because it's usually correlated to crypto. So basically, it has sort of an inverse. Okay, it's good. So basically, it has an inverse relationship to crypto. And yeah, it has decreased massively and it just bumped over past 2 weeks. So I'm looking at my previous chart and I had this sort of fifth wave extension, but I'll clean the chart up and like start from the beginning. Okay, so the first thing noticeable is that, sorry, just a second. So to me, the first thing that I noticed is that basically there was this extremely overbought RSI here throughout this entire nearly a year period actually. And after that, a really sharp downturn followed. So basically from the September highs, I mean, the index has fallen by like 9%. I don't really see any discernible pattern right here. So, I mean, I guess you could do some, not like this, sorry, some sort of channel like this, but I don't think there are enough touches. I mean, there are actually enough touches, but it kind of starts at an arbitrary point. So instead of starting at the actual bottom, I'm just starting at this first high low here, kind of to make the chart work. And I don't like doing that because I feel that it just like brings a ton of subjectivity into trading. And yeah, so if you do this, then basically we'd expect another like downturn just because channels usually break down. But when you look at horizontal levels, I mean, the main resistance area is pretty clearly here at about 120, and that has not been reached yet. So in this way, it seems that the index bounced at this support here. So basically, after the 102 area acted as resistance, the index broke out and then it returned and it bounced here, validating the same area as support. So in this outlook, this just looks like a basic breakout and retest. And yeah, also the RSI did basically it kind of reset itself here. So yeah, just by looking at that, this kind of seems ready for continuation. And maybe now when we do a closer look, I mean we've had basically 4 bullish candlesticks in a row after that massive drop. And when we look at the daily chart, we still see this resistance line. And yeah, in this sense, basically the DXI has not retraced that much. I mean, it still has to reach this main resistance area here. So just by looking at this, I'd expect something like slightly higher high and then downward movement. And yeah, basically that would cause a breakdown from the previously outlined support in the weekly time frame. Wave count wise, I guess this could still be the fifth wave, like I previously, sorry, like I previously drew it out. So yeah, basically something like that. So this would take the price all the way up to here at like the 120 level before another final drop. So yeah, I guess this would actually make sense to me a lot because it fits both with horizontal levels. So like we had this retest here and the fact that we have not reached our main resistance area here. I mean, wave 4 is really sharp right now, but this still doesn't invalidate it. And yeah, let's finally, no, sorry, look at the correlation between this and Bitcoin. I mean, the vast majority of the time it has a negative correlation, an inverse correlation, sorry, meaning that an increase in one causes a decrease in the other, but it's still. Right now, weirdly enough, it actually has some sort of a positive correlation. I mean, it did. Now it's actually turning negative again. So basically, 0 is no correlation, 1 is perfectly positive correlation, and -1 is perfectly negative correlation. This usually jumps into negative territory except on these spikes here. So basically, whenever there is some sort of a gradual increase, it can have a positive correlation, but whenever there are these massive spikes, then usually the correlation is negative. So yeah, I mean now since it's a negative correlation, I mean this would predict some sort of a Bitcoin bottom, especially if we get like a massive pump here. Not a Bitcoin bottom, sorry, a Bitcoin drop. So yeah, basically my outlook for the DXY is most probably another high towards 120, which would actually be bearish for the crypto markets. So yeah, I'll pass it on to Konstantin now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will share my screen and talk a little bit about SP500 and also the DAX. So basically, it's really interesting what's happening to the markets right now, simply because the DAX is almost back at the all-time high. But before we're gonna talk about that, we're gonna take a look at the SP500, and what becomes apparent is that we broke out of this descending parallel channel, and with that we already broke the 0.382 fib resistance, and we are almost back at the golden ratio resistance. So we recovered about 20%. MACD lines across bullishly. Histogram, however, is not ticking bullishly higher but bearishly lower. And we did not reach yet the golden ratio resistance. So this is the key resistance here at roughly 4,350. As long as we don't break that level, we are not back to the bull market. We will not go back to the all-time high. But once we break that level, it looks really, really bullish. And then also on the daily chart, we had this gold crossover happening right now, which could be returned to a death cross if it's not like moving up for now. But it looks like it could establish a golden crossover, which also confirm the trend bullishly. And then we also have that strong support here already at 3,925. And we almost came back to that level and basically bounced off it with a minor difference of roughly 0.5%. So SP500 still looks really bullish, but it's not yet like fully bullish confirmed. And then we also have this upticking histogram in the monthly MACD, which is also indicating that the correction, like basically the downward trend since December or January 2022, is almost done or could come to an end. And that's also like crazy if you think about it, that we are already in a downtrend since January 2022. So it's been a year now, and yeah, we probably could head towards the all-time high again. I mean, we also bounced off the 50-month EMA support, which is a strong indication that the downtrend is already done. Because usually once we can come back to the 50-month EMA, we bounce off that level and just continue the upward trend. So for now, the possibility of a continuation of the downtrend is not off the table, but still it looks really good. And if we look at DAX, like the DAX is like crazy bullish, as it already broke the golden ratio resistance. So there's really nothing which holds DAX back from returning to the all-time high. And right now, it's only like almost 6% away from the all-time high. So DAX looks extremely bullish. Also, we had this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and DAX broke out bullishly. So there's really nothing which prevents us from assuming DAX will continue its upward trend. You also have that bullish crossover of the MACD lines in the monthly chart and the uptaking histogram. And then in the daily chart, we already have that golden crossovers for a long time now. So basically, we had this bullish confirmation of the upward trend in December. And since then, we're basically in a massive upward trend. And the DAX already recovered around 32%. So for me, markets look really bullish again. And it doesn't make too much sense to me right now. So we will see how it plays out. And then we also will see how it will affect Bitcoin. And for that, I will pass it now to Ankit.
So, yeah, thanks for that. I'll just share my screen and continue on this. So, yes, you talked about DAX. I would like to talk about DJI. Dow Jones index is also looking bullish to me on the weekly time frame because there was a weekly divergence here on this one, and it has appeared to be broken out of it. There is still a trend line resistance that needs to be broken out, but I think it is currently testing that as support, and I think when this happens, it is generally uh, uh, something transpires in the favor of the bulls when something like this happens. So I think the trend line can eventually be broken here, and we'll see some bullish movement at least to this level. And so it seems bullish to me on the weekly time frame. So I will not go into the noisy parts of it. And based on what you've said, yes, DAX is crazy bullish. The weekly time frame is crazy bullish for DAX. It hasn't even tested the support level the last week, so that is much more bullish to me. Uh, and distance has been crossed, and there is a little base divergence, which I think will be eventually be recovered because there is nothing. I don't think any these levels will matter so much because looking at the general state of the conditions and general market, it's looking crazy bullish to me. Uh, talking about, I would like to talk about BTC a little here. Uh, like the weekly had closed, the last weekly candle had closed just above the monthly level, and but it was just uh, we haven't gotten any breakout, a real breakout of it, and the this levels at the weekly level at 24.3 and the monthly level at 23.3 is a very hard resistance to break. And I'm very concerned about this because we still haven't been able to cross above these August highs, and we are looking at BTC looking at losing some steam here. But we'll see how it goes. I had made this uh, descending trend line, descending channel here, and it has tested it, and it's until we get a close above this 24.3K level, which is the weekly level. I don't think we have a confirmed breakout of things, and with all the traditional markets looking somewhat bullish, and the dollar index also is. I don't think BTC. I'm kind in a state of undecided because it's looking haphazard to me. DXY is also the dollar index is at resistance to me, looks like a resistance to me at 3-day time frame, and needs to break out of this to actually see some movement in BTC to the downside. But I think there is a very good resistance here for DXY. So if it retraces just a bit because it is inversely related to BTC, so we can see some bounce. But that's why I'm a little confused because the weekly chart looks like it is at support. The 3-day time frame is at resistance. So if I give preference to the weekly chart, I'll see at least a little higher movement to 105 or probably 207 for some retracement. Maybe BTC goes to 20K again, and we'll see what happens after that. So yeah, that's it from my side for dollar index and the traditional markets. And over to over to you, Gordon.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ankit. Uh, so next, I wanted to look to the dollar euro pair. I mean, I guess you could say that it definitely, I mean, fits with a DXY analysis. I mean, not necessarily, since it basically just specifically looks at the dollar's price movement against the euro and not against every other asset like the dollar currency index does. But nevertheless, I still think it's interesting to look at, uh, just because I mean it had I mean at one point the dollar became slightly stronger than the euro September last year, and then the euro recovered pretty well. Now there are some conflicting signs here, so it really depends what the euro does here. I mean, I guess you could even draw it like this and it'd be below, but if you're looking at this area, it still kind of looks like it deviated here, and now it reclaimed the horizontal area, and it's potentially validating it as support here. And additionally, the other side did break out. So when looking at it this way, it seems that the euro will actually continue to appreciate against the dollar. But I mean, yeah, there are obviously many factors affecting this, and not just TA. So I guess for my final one, I wanted to look at the Bitcoin dominance rate just a little bit. Honestly, it's a really weird looking chart to me. It has been this way for a while. Uh, I mean, like I was tracking this previous bullish divergence trend line, which was broken, and it seemed that the rate did retest it here. But I mean, it's pretty high up here, and it's actually above 50. So in the way I see it, that's a pretty conflicting sign. And also, there is some resistance here at the golden ratio of the 0.618 level. So, I mean, I'm still sticking with a bearish analysis, even though I mean, I can't make sense of this increase. It really looks weird. And yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't like that you can't actually count 5 ways here. So just it would make sense more if there was something like this, but we'll see. There's still time for that. And yeah, I guess my main outlook would be decrease, which kind of bodes better for altcoins and the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, which actually, I mean, I think that would be more interesting to look at. Just because of this, like, basically parallel channel, which usually contains corrective movements, and then we have this bullish divergence here. So yeah, in my opinion, this is likely to increase here and then honestly break out from this line, which area which has been in place for like ages. So yeah, I guess that was it on my part. So I mean, not sure if you guys have something to add or like another chart to look at, since I don't think we have any more questions.
Not really. I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover. We could also talk about gold, but for now, nobody like asked any questions. So I'm not sure if that's like still relevant. But I'm really curious, like in general, what's your opinion on the recession? Will it still come and hit us way harder than expected, or do you think it's already over and we're going back to bull markets, especially since COVID seems to be pretty much over all over the world now?
Well, I don't know, like personally, I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's necessarily done, but I think the worst is, I guess, over. And I'm just kind of taking the contrary view because just usually going by like crowd psychology, now everyone, like literally every single um, like website I'm looking at is all full doom and gloom about upcoming recession. So just based on like stock market readings and those, I think the worst is over. But like reports that I'm reading about various layoffs are still continuing. So I'm not sure if that is always reflected in the market. So I'm guessing in regards to the stock market, the worst might be over, but there are still, I think, many repercussions left for more like normal working people, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. I just don't believe we can go around the recession with those interest rates hikes. So if they continue to raise the interest rates, I don't know what are the options.
And the next interest rate is the decision making is on 15th or 16th of March, and they are continuing with that decision that they will continue raising these rates. So I don't think there is any way around recession. Maybe the worst is over, but I think there is something to come. We can't just avoid it.
Yeah, especially those interest rates hikes have a very delayed effect. So maybe we see the worst coming in like 1 or 2 years, but maybe we also have a small relief rally for now. And I mean, all of us are pretty young, so for me, this recession didn't really feel like a bad recession. Everybody I know that was like laid off, even by giants like Facebook, immediately found another position somewhere else. So it doesn't seem like super bad, but it's just my bubble. I have no idea if there are actually people suffering from the recession that we're having.
Yeah, to be honest, even like where I live, I mean, I guess inflation has been felt slightly more, but no, there haven't been that many layoffs or anything. I guess, I mean, obviously we're a very small country, but yeah, and I think inflation here has been felt a lot harder the possibility of a recession, since like most of the price of every single basic item just went up by a ton.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel that too, and sometimes I feel like companies just jumped on the bandwagon and increased prices, even if they were not affected by shortages or anything. Just like, okay, increase prices like five times. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I guess if there aren't any questions, that was the session for today. So thanks a lot to everyone who was a part of it, and yeah, we will see you all next week. So have a nice day or night whenever it is that you're watching this. Bye, everyone.
Thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, guys. See ya.